Hello there, and here we are for the third part of the custom rig panel. And in the last video we finished creating the bone collections panel, and let me run it here, and then that's basically where we are left with. So we have the ability to toggle on and off all the collections for the bones that we have. All right, in this one we are going to create the IK/FK switch panel and also the isolate rotation panel. But before that, don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's go. Well, first of all, for these ones, we are going to be dealing with custom properties. And if you are doing this tutorial, you might already know what they are, but let's take a look at it. I clicked here at the root bone, and then I come here to the bone data, and all the way down to in the bone data we are gonna have these custom properties, and in here we can add new custom properties with different types to it and all that. Basically what we have here is all the custom properties that control the rig behavior inside the root bone. So we are gonna be using these a lot. All right, and another thing that we have is a way to drive some functionalities using these custom properties. So for example, let me open, let's go to the layout just so we have it a little bit easier. Okay, so we got it. If I move here the leg, we can see that it is moving, but then if I select the root bone, go down, and I change this left leg IK/FK switch to 1, so I'm gonna grab it all the way to 1, and now I try to move it, it's not gonna work. This is mainly because, let me set it here, that's mainly because, take a look at the MCH. We have these bones, these middle bones, they are being driven by those values. So to make things a little bit easier, let's see what we can do. For example, well, we get these ones, so I can move it and we see that the eye is closing. This here is done by driving. So for example, if I move the location of this guy here down, we are gonna go here to the body and to the shape keys, and we see that we have this purple value, and this is basically that this value is being driven by something else, and in this case it's the bone location that we had before. Okay, knowing that, we are driving multiple parts of the rig using the custom properties that we have here in the root bone. And now we are simply going to leave it, to place it in a easier way to touch, let's say, in a easier way to see what is happening, instead of you having to click on the root bone or whatever bone that you choose. Now you're gonna expose it to a panel. So let's go back to the scripting tab, and here we are going to start with the IK/FK panel. And to do that, first of all, we are going to delete this pass, and let's add a little bit of a space, and we are gonna need the same as we had previously here. We're gonna need this armature reference, so I'm just gonna copy it and pull it down here. And another thing that we are gonna need is a root bone reference, because we are gonna use the properties that are inside of that bone. So to do that, I'm gonna place here a root. Let's go to receive the armature. Let's put it like this. Dot pose dot bones, open brackets, and the name of the bone that you want to get. In this case, we want to get the root bone, so there we go, root. Okay, now that we have the root bound reference, we are set to do basically anything that we want with the data inside of it. But before it, we need to draw it on the screen, so we need the layout. Then let's put it here. Layout is gonna be self.layout. There we go. And again, to draw something, we need a place to add the properties and things like that. And we are gonna use, just like we used up here, we're gonna use rows and columns. Actually, in this one, we are not gonna use columns at all. It's simply gonna be rows. So let's take a look at it. First of all, let's add something to make it easier to understand what we are driving, or what we are showing in this case. So we're gonna add a label. But first of all, we need the row. So row is gonna be layout.row. There we go. And so this way we create a new row. Let's put a little bit of a space, and then here we are gonna add row.label, just like we added up there. Text equal to let's begin with the arms, and so let's just put it here, arms. Since this panel is the IKFK switch, we know that we are going to switch the IKFK of the arms, and so we can keep it like that. So another couple spaces, and then let's create a new row. So row layout, row. Oops. There we go. In this one, we are gonna do something a little bit different from what we had up there, because up there we used the isVisible property that is part of the it's basically a Blender property. It's not a custom property. Custom properties, they work a little bit different, as we are gonna see right now. So again, we're gonna add a property. So row.drop open close parenthesis, and then we are gonna get the properties from the root bone that we set up there. And now for the property that we want to check, for custom properties, it's a little bit more convoluted, let's say a little bit more complicated, because it needs to open and close square brackets and then double quotes. So it needs to be like this, otherwise it's not gonna work very much. You could either do like double quotes on the outside and then single quote on the inside, but that's basically how it works. So there we go. Now we are gonna put inside of here the name of the property that we want to see. In this case, since we are working on the arms, so let's check for the IKFK switch for the arms. So first of all, this one, left arm IKFK switch. So let's write it, left arm IKFK switch. There we go. So this way we now have access to this property on the panel. If we press the play button up here, there we go, we're gonna see it, but we're gonna see a huge name, and it's also a little bit difficult to get this here, to get to know if you are on the minimum or the maximum. So let's change it to be a little bit more readable, and for that we're gonna add a little bit of a text. So text, let's put this one left, because we are on the arms section, so we are working on the left arms. Let's put it all capitals, left. And another thing that we're gonna do, just so we have that blue bar that goes up and down when you're sliding it, we're gonna use it as a slider. So slider equal true. And if we play it now, boom, there we go. Now we have it written left, and when we move it, now we have that blue slider. Okay, that's cool. Now we need to do something similar, but for the right leg. Oh, actually, for the right arm. So Control D. And let's change this guy here to be right. And this one also to be right. So right. There we go. Let's play and check. Alright, cool. So there we have it. Now we have access to the left and right arms IKFK switch. And as you can see, if you check it down here, if we move it, it's also moving that value. Okay, that's cool. Now that we have the arms done, we are simply going to do the same, but now for the legs. So I'm gonna copy all of it, and then a couple of enters, and then let's change this one here now to be legs, and the same thing in down here. So leg and leg, and these two, they are just fine. So let's play and check it out. Boom, there we go. Yeah, that's cool. Now we have it working just fine. If we move it, as you can see, let me focus on the screen. If we move to the 0, it follows the IK chain. If we move it to 1, it follows the FK chain. Just like it should be. So Control Space again. And there we go. And this way we just finished the IKFK panel. So as you can see, it wasn't that difficult. Then let's go straight into the isolate rotation panel. And for this one, it's gonna be basically the same, but now we're gonna do it for all the parts that we have isolation. So again, a little bit of space, and let's get rid of that path. We're gonna get these two here because it's the same down. There we go. So armature, root, let's put them in the correct place, otherwise they're not gonna work. Okay, good. So for us to draw something, we need the layout. So let's create it. Layout is self.layout. We also need a row. So let's put it here. Row for layout dot row. There we go. And we are also going to add labels for the things that we're gonna add. So let's check. We have here the head follow, the neck follow, the arms and legs follow, and also a tail follow. So let's put all those center ones in the same place to be a little bit easier to get them organized. So this one, it's gonna be then row label. Let's add here text, and I'm gonna call it center bones. There we go. And for the center bones, we are gonna do basically the same thing that we did up here, but this time we are going to do actually a little bit closer to this one. Now let's put them together like this, column, align, and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna copy it. So row, column, align, and let's put it down here. First of all, we need to create a new row. So layout dot row and column. This call is gonna be row.column align true. Okay, now inside this column we can add all the central bones, which are gonna be the head, the neck, and then after the tail. So let's put it here. Call.prop. And inside of the prop, we're gonna follow the same idea as up here. So root. And then we're gonna put single pair of quotes, open and close brackets, double quotes, and then the name of the custom property, which is gonna be head. follow, rot. Okay, and now the other things are gonna be the same. So text, it's cool. Let's put it here head, because we are changing the isolation of the head. And let's put it to be a slider, so slider true. There we go. Let's play and see if it works. Okay, so the head value's there. Let's see if it's connecting. Yes, so the value is changing here, so that's a good sign. Let's create the new one then. So Control D and Control D, because we need another 3 bones, and they are going to be the neck. Okay, neck, and this one is going to be the tail. And let's change the text. So this is, whoops, this one's neck, and this one is tail. There we go. Let's play, and good. So we have all the 3 of them packed together. It'll look a little bit nicer. And now we can go for the arms and legs. All right, for that, let's create a new row. That's going to be layout.row and a new label. And this one we're gonna create the panel for, we're gonna draw the properties for the arms. And so let's put it here, arms. And then we're gonna do the same thing as we did up here, but this time they are arm follow, left and right. Okay, so let's create them. It's gonna be a new row. So row, layout, row, and here we're gonna put row dot prop, open close parentheses, root, and then we put that same thing again, and check out the name, which is left arm follow rot, if I am not mistaken. Yep, that should be right. Again, let's change the text to be left and the slider to be true. Let's play and see. Okay, we got it, and yeah, it's connecting, as we can see here. Nice. So we just duplicate this one and change the left word to be right. Oops. Right. So play again. Oh, there we go. It's a little bit cranked up here, but there we go. So left working, and right one is also working. That's good. And now for the last one, we just simply copy these guys and a couple new lines and change what is arms to be legs. So this one, it's not gonna be arm, it's gonna be leg. The same down here. And the other things, they are going to be exactly the same. So we can just press the play button again, and there we go. Now we have here the arms, and let's check. Yeah, it's connecting. So left leg is connecting, and the right leg is also connecting. Okay, that's basically it. We've finished the panel, and as we can see, it's looking quite nice, I'd say. And now the only thing that we need to do is to test all the functionalities. So let's begin with selecting everything here. I'm gonna put them back to how they were before. Let's check if all the collections are gonna be invisible. So okay, the root, the head, the body, the tail. That's cool. Let's get rid of all these guys. Let's take a look at the FK collections first. So left arm, right arm, left leg, right leg, That's good. In the AK collections, left arm, left leg, and right leg. Perfect. Now let's check out if the system here to change from IK to FK is also working. So let's check first the arms. For that, I'm gonna get just the arms on like this, and I'm going to change the position of the IKs. So I'm gonna place them like this, and as we can see, nothing changed, and that's what it should do, because we have the value to 1. So 1 means FK and 0 IK. So let's change it. Left arm changed to IK, and yeah, it's following. Right arm changed to IK. Nice, it's also following. That's good. Now let's check the legs. I'm gonna bring them on. Gonna move the legs up. Let me bring this other one here also up like that, so we can check it out. Now it is following the IK because they are 0, so let's bring them to 1, and now they are following the FK. Okay, so it's working. That's good. And the last thing that we need to actually test if this is all working is the isolate rotation. So let's select everything and put them back to how they were. So to do this here, I'm pressing Alt G, Alt R, Alt S. Okay, so to work this one, to make things a little bit easier, I'm going to put the arms to FK as well, and then I'm gonna move the body. I'm gonna move it up and then rotate it like this, so we can see that it's keeping the orientation of all the bones. For example, the tail, the neck, the head, the arms, they are keeping the same orientation, and it's even breaking some parts, but that's okay. So let's begin with the tail. If we bring it up to 1, okay, now it's following the body rotation. If we bring the neck to 1, okay, now it's following the body rotation. The head, okay, good, we have it now following the body rotation. And now last thing, let's check the arms, following, okay, good, the legs, nice, and the last one. That's it. So this means that we now have all the bones and the properties working just like they should be working. Well, so that's basically it for how to create your own custom panel. This is still a little bit simple, let's say, because we could add some functionalities to change the visibility of the collections when changing the values here in the IKFK switch, but it would be a little bit more complicated. So if you are interested, just let me know, and I possibly could create a tutorial just for that one later. And also there are other things like creating the IK and FK snap, for example. So but for a simple custom rig panel, this is mainly all that you're gonna need, I'd say. And well, that's it. I hope you liked it, and if you did, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to the channel to see more things like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.